Reggie, and he is here with me today because he's going to talk a little bit about his hair journey now that he's at the 5 year mark. He made 5 years on, what was it, Labor Day of this year? And I've seen his hair grow through and go through so many things in the last 5 years, and he's really matured. Like, all of us are maturing as we age, but his hair really has added to his character. He has a very unique character anyway, and it's just been like a pleasure watching somebody else's lock journey as you're going through your own. So yeah, Reggie's gonna be here today answering some of my questions. All right, so Reggie, thank you so much for being here, and I want to ask you, generally speaking, like, you are, let's just start off with the like hard stuff. So you are a man in corporate America, right?
Yep.
And you have locks, not only, locks as a man, but like unique locks. They're not neat locks, they're very unique to you. But you've been at your job for a little bit. What has been your experience with being locked and being at your job?
Being locked at my job has been actually a pretty great experience, being that there are other people who have locks there, men and women. The biggest thing I would say, like with locks, is because I do work a corporate job and it's a pharmaceutical job, we do have to wear hairnets. One issue that I do have is just dryness because of the hairnets, but I do wear head guards sometimes to mitigate that. But my experience has been pretty good. A couple people here and there say like slick stuff, but I always get them back with something. Outside of that, I've had people who've seen my journey from start to where I am now. They've also, paid homage and said like, how good my locks look, or how long my hair's gotten over time. And some of them same people had smart comments to say, but my hair does look very nice now. Thanks to my lovely wife.
Yes, I think most people can relate to people, especially at the beginning. For those of us who have, and this is no shade to anybody who hasn't gone through the, natural journey of having locks, but those of us who have like grown our locks, and gone through the quote unquote, and I say that in quotes, ugly stage, we have all experienced to a certain extent some level of like sideways comments. And then it's crazy how whenever your locks start to kind of solidify and come into a shape and they start to add and integrate into your personality, how people will like double back and start to leave positive comments on your pictures and even say things that are positive to you in person as if they never said anything sideways to you. You started your locks off with at least 3 inches of loose natural hair.
Yeah.
He actually had a full out, like, I call it Goku afro, right? Please.
Yes, a Goku afro. I acquired it with a sponge brush. At the time, that's when sponge brushes were very, extremely popular. So I was like, I'm trying my hand on it, And what actually ended up happening was my barber was out of town. So I was like, what, I'm just gonna rock out and just see what happens. And I've always had waves, so I was like, okay, just let me see what's gonna happen with my hair as I let it grow out, and just see if I like the look. If I do, I'm gonna keep it. If not, I'm gonna chop it off and go back to the wave. So 5 years in.
Yeah, because when I met you, yes, you had the Goku fro, and then before he actually started his lock journey, he had like, the wood. He cut his hair off in like the box cut mic off the wood. He had that first before he actually started his locks. So that's kind of like why he has the top locks, because he had cut his hair off into a box cut beforehand. And then you went to a professional and got it started, and it just did not look good. Okay, no ma'am, no sir. So he took those out, and what happened after you took those out?
I went back to the sponge brush. I picked it out, combed it out a little bit, did 2-strand twists, seen what happened. And then at that point, I was just like, let's just do something. Because I had an event to do. I wanted my hair to be presentable. I was like, baby, let's figure this thing out. And got to wrapping, that's how it happened.
Got to wrapping, that's how it happened.
Yeah. Okay. Planned it out, and since then I've just been modifying different locks, 2-strand twists. I have some that are combined. I have 2-headed dragons, 3-headed dragons, flat, round, I got it all.
Yeah, and we're definitely gonna get into how his locks like look at this point and all the modifications he's had and made. But I want to ask you, so you essentially did your own thing. You started your own locks after having gone to a professional loctician, not liking the experience, took them out, and then started your own with 2-strand twists. And then from that point, you just kind of let it, grow and grow and grow until they started falling. So when did you notice that your hair started to kind of like become into itself and have a personality, so to speak, after that?
Typically I'll say after that, I did go back to the loctician just for a little upkeep. Then got to the point like, I'm good. Once I actually seen you use the crochet needle, then I got the idea. I was like, okay, well, let me just do my own thing. Looked at a couple YouTube videos, and from that point, did some palm rolling, stitched some in with the crochet needle. Then after that, I was like, just let it happen, just let it go natural to like a semi-freeform. Because originally I did want to have freeform locks, so I went with semi-freeform, and then at that point, I just let it do its thing, and then maintain it that way, and just keep it as neat as I want it to, meaning semi-freeforms.
Yeah, I think it's important, especially considering you're in corporate America, to kind of like make that a point that he didn't necessarily want to have a super clean look to begin with, right? Because he didn't have a super clean look when it came to his afro. Like his afro, when he was maintaining it with a sponge, right? So like it kind of had little points and little divots, and it was to his personality. So like for me myself, just relating to that, like I never wanted a super neat look anyway, because even when I interlock my hair or do a super fresh retwist, I don't necessarily like how clean and scalpy it looks. And I think for both of us, just having the fuzzy look, it really kind of adds and like brings out and highlights our character, which is kind of unique, for different reasons. And I think that we just both, in my opinion, my humble opinion, look better with when our hair is kind of grown out a little bit and fuzzy. Did anybody inspire you? Any celebrities inspire you, or anybody who's an influencer inspire you?
Yes. Some of the people that did inspire me, they're not necessarily celebrities, but they're just different social media inspirations. But originally, I kind of wanted to have, fro-wise, I wanted to have like a little Maxwell, kind of like slightly Afrocentric, just like something crazy, but just something unique to myself. And then I started seeing like some pictures of like top locks with the shaved sides. I'm like, that's kind of fire. So I tried to do that at the beginning. However, the way mine dropped, see, the way this is set up, it just didn't fall the way I wanted to. So on my next set, I will probably do like thicker locks, just because I wanted them to kind of fall a certain way. Outside of that, though, I love my locks. I will be doing like a new set years later, or maybe soon, I don't know. But I did have a lot of inspiration. Whenever you do decide to do your lock journey, figure out what you like. What do you like for yourself, and what do you like on other people? And then see like just the different styles that on people, and it's like, okay, can I rock this, or just different things like that.
I've seen a lot of people say, for the people who said that they don't like their locks after having gone to a loctician, first off, I don't believe all locticians are bad. I think there are some very, very qualified locticians out there. But I think when you go to a loctician, you have to do your part too when you're researching all of that, so that you can be able to articulate and advocate for yourself whenever you go there. So it's important for you to be very clear when you're talking to the loctician on the desired mature lock width that you want. Because anybody who knows, like when you're starting your locks, they're going to be thicker in diameter than they are going to be whenever they grow out and get more mature. So you got to keep all those things in mind when you're starting locks, because at the end of the day, your locks are not going to look the same when you first start them, or even a year after you start them versus 5+ years. They're going to, as they grow longer and drop, they're going to kind of like shrink in size. I know mine has. I know his has. Because when he first started his locks were a tiny bit thicker than what they are now. But as they've grown longer, and his roots are still thick, they just have shrunk. At the end of the day, keep that in mind. What do you do for your hair as far as styles? Or I probably could answer that question myself. Cause okay, so I'll answer that question. So generally speaking, like, he don't really do too much. Like, he'll throw that thing in the top bun and keep it moving. So anytime he does have a style like a braid out, or retwist or anything, I'm the one putting it in. So usually we always wash his hair, and then after I wash his hair, I generally either just do a retwist and then have it in a ponytail to kind of keep their retwist as fresh as possible. But sometimes I like to get a little fancy, and I'll do like a 3-strand or 4-strand braid out, and then he'll have that. But generally speaking, he doesn't do anything else. Really, he's only had, probably as far as designs or styles, he's only had that maybe a handful of times across his whole lock journey.
And I don't like styles that's going to impede me from sleeping properly.
Yeah.
So that's another reason why I don't do a lot of styles, because I'm a back sleeper. So a lot of the styles is like bun heavy.
Yeah.
Like, it be looking dope, but
you be looking like how did you go to sleep?
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember one time the loctician that he did go to, not the first one, but the second one that he went to for like over a year, she was dope, and she put a couple styles in there. But even though they were really nice looking, like he said, like just the way they were, the logistics of it, you want to be able to maintain it and be able to it be comfortable, at least to a certain extent, so that it can last. You're paying for it. So keep that in mind as well. Think about your general style. Are you more of a lock head that likes comfort, or are you a lock head who likes to flex with their parts and their styles and all of that? Like, really keep that in mind whenever you're starting your locks. Like, why do you want to start locks? What do you want it to bring out of your personality? What do you want it to represent whenever you're going out in public? Are you a person who just wants locks because you perceive it to be more of a quote-unquote easier style to maintain? Now, in the next video, we're gonna do a lock count and a length check, like more like stretching as well as actual measurement with a tape measure. So if you are interested in that video, I want you to stay tuned. Also, check out the previous video of his visual lock journey, showing the highlights of his journey, the styles, like the man bun that he usually does. And just generally, I have some more videos of his that I'm going to link in the description box below if you're interested in his journey, whether you are a man looking for inspiration or a woman looking maybe for inspiration for their significant other, a family member. Like, just check it out and, support. We would greatly appreciate it. You have anything else you want to say?
Stay tuned. Appreciate y'all.
Alright, until the next video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.